It's time now to look at what's grabbing headlines here in France. And I'm joined in the studio by Clément Bonnereau. Hi, Clément.
Hi, Haxi.
The headlines, of course, dominated by Trump's visit to Paris. The US leader is, of course, set to attend traditional Bastille Day celebrations here in Paris. And he has been receiving a very warm welcome, hasn't he?
That's right, and warm is the word being used by Le Figaro in this article. Macron gives Trump a warm welcome. Emmanuel Macron tried to woo his American counterpart with military pomp and French grandeur. He treated Trump to a private tour of Napoleon's tomb and a plush dinner at the Jules Verne restaurant on the second floor of the Eiffel Tower.
And Trump does seem to be enjoying his visit so far, doesn't he?
Absolutely. Just take a look at this article in Le Parisien. The headline reads, L'air de Paris lui réussit. Paris is doing him good. So far, his first official visit to France has been a relatively stress-free getaway from his own troubles at home and has been an opportunity for him to showcase transatlantic links. This less than a week after looking rather isolated at the G20 summit in Hamburg. And Macron has been the perfect host too. Trump loves a military parade and he loves a bit of glitz and glamour, so no doubt he enjoyed his fancy dinner at the Jules Verne restaurant, a restaurant that carries the reputation of being an overpriced tourist destination.
Sounds pretty Trumpian, if I'm allowed to say that. Some papers, though, haven't been quite so enthusiastic about Trump's visit, some even suggesting that Macron shouldn't have invited Trump in the first place.
That's right, and the front page of Libération really speaks for itself this morning. Donald Trump, a pariah in Paris. Actually, the newspaper is quite divided. You can find two editorials side by side, one endorsing Macron's decision, saying that France cannot ignore Trump, the leader of the most powerful country in the world. The author says that trying to change Trump's views on climate change and immigration is also worth the effort. The other editorial, though, says the exact opposite, calling it an absolute shame to invite a president who does not believe in climate change and who's repeatedly insulted France and other European countries.
And let's move on now to another issue that's dividing public opinion here in France. The government here has announced sweeping cuts to public spending to reduce the deficit, and the biggest savings are coming from the Defence Ministry.
That's right, and French soldiers are not happy, as you can see here on the front page of West France. Jusqu'où va la grogne? When is public anger going to stop? Conservative paper Le Figaro is also very critical this morning, saying that now is not a good time to cut 800 million euros from defence, especially at a time when France is at war and when the terrorist threat has never been so high in the country. The paper adds that defence should be considered a top priority in the country, going on to quote the former president and World War II hero Charles de Gaulle, saying defence is the raison d'être, that is the first duty of government.
And talking of terrorism, today does, of course, mark the one-year anniversary of the Nice terrorist attack that left 86 people dead and, of course, dozens injured as they celebrated Bastille Day.
That's right, and papers this morning are paying tribute to the victims of the attack and their families. The front page of Aujourd'hui en France reads, Nice 1 year on, let us not forget. The newspaper says that the 14th of July will forever be remembered as a gloomy day in France. Residents of Nice are still licking their wounds and asking for answers. And actually, we also learned that the investigation is still underway. And even though the attack has been claimed by the Islamic State group, investigators have found no link between the attacker and the terrorist group. I mean, at least the links the investigators say are not yet very clear.
And you're going to end now for us with a growing controversy about a play being staged at the prestigious Avignon Theatre Festival.
That's right. Families of victims and Jewish leaders are protesting against a play about Mohammed Merah, who was responsible for the 2012 Toulouse shooting that killed 4 children in a Jewish school and 3 French soldiers. The play, titled I Love Death as Much as You Love Life, premiered at the Avignon Theatre Festival last week. It's about the last 3 hours in the life of Mohammed Merah before he was killed by the police. The Algerian playwright Mohamed Kassimi says the play tells the story of a monster created by society, but families of victims say it's insulting to the memory of those killed. An online petition has been launched to prevent further performances.
Clément Bonnereau with a look through the French papers today. Thank you very much. And that spin through the papers brings us to the end of this bulletin, but do stay tuned. I'll be back in just a couple of minutes with all of our top headlines. Do stay tuned.